Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, we're going to go back to the Young Jedi Knights series, the young adult series written by Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Muesta. And it picks up, shortly after book 6, even though this is a new story arc. There's a 5-novel story arc we're going to focus on. But it does pick up after book 6. This is book 7 called Shards of Alderaan. The temple has been destroyed since the battle with the Shadow Academy. It is in the rebuilding phase now. Zek has kind of left because he's like, you know what? After all this, I need to chill. I need to just step away from everything. Does he want to be a Jedi now? No, he doesn't think that's his path. He just doesn't know what his path is. So he departs. Meanwhile, Raynar was the bully in the first 6 books who kind of ended up helping them at the end, because he's with the Jedi, of course, even though he can be a little rough around the edges. He's with the Jedi. So he kind of got his little his hero turn at the end of the last book. So now he's kind of a hero now. And of course, something bad has to happen to the heroes. So Raynar's part of their group, and Raynar's dad is kidnapped. He just disappears. No one knows where he went. And this is upsetting to him. So of course, the twins and Lobaka and Tenelka are all on his side to try to figure out what's going on. Now, Boba Fett has also been tasked with trying to track down the kidnappers. He's been hired. You get the best bounty hunter in the galaxy to find that very important person. If you don't know, Raynar, Thor's dad, I think his name is Borin, is super rich. They're, super wealthy. So could be a million reasons why he got kidnapped. And their, money is not a question when finding their father, his father. And so the mom sent out a bounty a recovery bounty, I guess, for Boba Fett to take. The price is obviously there, and he's on the case. Now, this is kind of neat because just for it's one throwaway sentence, Han kind of reminisces over the last time he saw Boba Fett. It was in the story Last One Standing from Tales of the Bounty Hunters. It was a great short story when I reviewed it, months ago, years ago. I don't know how long it was. Seems forever. But it's ended with Han and Boba Fett pointing blasters at each other, remember? And no one backing away. And that's how it ended. You're like, well, how did it end? You want to know. Well, now Young Jedi Knights is going on. And you're like, well, okay, Han's okay. But I was getting angry. I said, they're just going to say that never happened? Because that was going to tick me off if that was the case. But it turns out that it did happen, but Han doesn't want to talk about how it ended. He just says, yeah, last time we met, it was blank or whatever. And I was like, and what happened? And the kids weren't even asking either. You think the kids would ask? Kids always ask, right? Something exciting like that. Well, what happened next, Dad? But it's just kind of a throwaway sentence to show that it kind of connects to Last One Standing. So he hasn't seen Boba Fett since then. Now, Boba Fett is driving the Slave 4 now, not the Slave 1, the Slave 4, which looks just like the Slave 1 now. I don't know if we ever got to see or hear about what the Slave 3 was, but we did see the Slave 2 in Dark Empire. So anyway, the twins go out to Alderaan to recover a shard for their mother. They want to give it to her as a gift. I can't remember if they're putting it in a locket or something, but they thought that'd be a nice gift for Mom. And as you know, moms love sentimental things. So the twins and the whole gang go out there to find a shard while all this is going on. And they are attacked by Boba Fett. Oh no! He's on to him for some reason. So to get away from Boba Fett, they don't have to worry because Zek comes to save the day and he saves them. And so basically the adventure kind of ends there. Now, a lot of people were upset with how Boba Fett acts in this book. At the time I was reading it, I was not upset at all. But looking at some of the arguments that people had posted online and stuff, I do have to agree with them. Some of them were, when Zek, gets the surprise on Boba Fett. I don't like it when anyone gets the surprise on Boba Fett. But he's got to let up on the Solo kids, right? He can't kill them. So something had to happen, so it had to be Zek. Now, there's other things I'll mention as we go throughout this series that don't sound very Boba Fett-ish. Can I say that? Probably not. But I will say this. It got to be such a big deal that Abel G. Pena decided to go ahead and just retcon it all and say, hey guys, that wasn't Boba Fett. That was his daughter, Aelin Vin. And you're like, what? Wait, what? And if you think about it, it does make sense because a lot of things that Boba Fett wouldn't do, his daughter, who just doesn't know as much, would probably do, right? She would probably, and she'd be a younger age, about the same age or maybe a few years older than the Solo twins. And so, yeah, she probably would make mistakes. She probably would do certain other things later on. And it is, and Abel G. Pena connects it in a most beautiful way. There's one point, and this is basically another throwaway sentence that he uses to prove his point, prove the retcon is good. Because they're talking about, they don't know anything about Boba Fett. They don't even know who he really is. And someone said, or she, could be a she. And he's like, yeah, and it was. It happened to be a she inside of that Mandalorian armor. Okay, I get it. That's fine. If that's what you're going to do, a little bit of a stretch, but it does make everyone happy that that wasn't really Boba Fett there, I guess. For me, like I said, it didn't matter. I understand some of the points. I'll give some more as we go through the books. But for me, it was fine for it to be Boba Fett. Now, it was intended to be Boba Fett. Let me make sure of that. Make that clear that Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Moesta thought they were writing Boba Fett. But later on, it got retconned later on, especially as we see future books and we hear about what Boba Fett was doing. You're like, well then, why were you involved with this? Now, to be honest, money's money, right? And he's still a bounty hunter at heart. So I think even taking on this would be in Boba Fett's forte. But besides all that, Shards of Alderaan is a nice kickoff to a new direction, a new era in Young Jedi Knights. Now, what about Book 8? Well, you know the drill, folks. I'll see you next time with another video.